I can't believe I'm gonna cry on camera. Ain't this a bitch? The whole RKelly thing was really eye-opening for me because we have a social responsibility to our kids. And knowing that you make fun of or light of somebody who is too young to know the difference between what's happening and then to put that responsibility on them. Like, I hope RKelly is the catalyst that changes, or not RKelly, but I hope that these victims' courage and what they put out there for the world to see becomes the catalyst of what puts a mirror up to men and young men and other women and young women to take this particular issue really seriously. I really can't imagine being hurt like that, putting it out there and asking society to help me hold that monster responsible, and the reaction being that it's my fault.
So ladies and gentlemen, sorry. The MeToo March I attended in Portland, Oregon consists of survivors of sexual assault banding together to support one another. The march was supposed to be a safe place in which fellow victims could express themselves. It didn't go without issues though. Here, a counter-protester attempts to disrupt the event.
I'm not trying to start shit.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Oh, so this is censorship, right?
No.
You're censoring.
Okay, no, brother.
You want to
You're
censor?
censoring, bro. Get out of here.
You want to censor.
It's not worth it. He's not worth our breath.
Yes, it is.
But it didn't deter attendees from voicing their truth.
We are here for solidarity and equality.
I'm a victim. I'm pretty sure every woman I know is a victim of sexual harassment in one way or another.
I'd say listen to your wife and listen to your daughter, because women deserve a hell of a lot more respect than
So it's like, it's hard to not feel beat down by all the stuff that's happened, but all you can do is get out and say that that's what you want and make your voice heard and do your best to make that action become reality.
I was literally at the gym doing push-ups, listening to Resilient Podcast when the host, Shadow, caught me off guard when he casually revealed he was molested.
You said it so casual. I mean, I'm taking I did push up and you was like kissing dick. Yeah, I said, you know what I'm saying? I'm about 150 pounds. Right. They said, is he dead? Is he, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I spoke candidly with the former personal trainer at his gym in Hillsborough on how the Me Too movement inspired him to open up about the sexual harassment he's endured as a child and adult.
Marcus Ward.
He's mad funny.
He's a funny guy.
Wow, Marcus Ward.
Like him, like his personality.
He's a really nice guy, but gosh, he asks some pointy questions.
I respect him. I respect what he does, what he's doing.
This Marcus Ward show is he's bringing light to a lot of very special issues and marginalized people. I felt very comfortable with him. I gotta say that. The guy is really great. He's adorable.
Me llamo Alberto, yo soy de El Salvador y tú estás mirando el Marcus Ward Show.
So I had recently been at a job where I had a manager who had made me feel really uncomfortable, to the point that I didn't even really want to say anything because I was embarrassed as a man. that I basically allowed this 5'6" woman to do things like, oh, Malcolm, you're so, like just inappropriate things, and like she got scared of a spider, and like, but it got to the point where she had made me so uncomfortable, I started being rude to her to get her to leave me alone. And so I just wanted to go put that out there and be like, yo, it happens to men. Like, who would think that me, the 6'3" black dude who says whatever comes to his mind, would be the dude who had to shut up at work to keep his job? And I actually even said something to like the person who oversaw like 5 different branches in the country. And I sent her an email because this manager was under review for poor behavior. And I told her, I was like, she sexually harassed 2 male employees. She kept her job. In that moment, I really understood what women go through.
Why don't men come out and say Me Too? How come they don't reveal their sexual abuse, you think, to the extent of...
Because rape culture is dismissive. I think it's the same reason women don't. Because, how many times have women had to live with the stereotype of she wanted it?
And with my story, I was directly silenced by my school because I came out and I wanted to talk about what happened to me. It was by a fellow student. And they told me I couldn't talk about it anymore, which because apparently it was disrupting the environment.
Look at this crowd. You can only imagine some young girls or grown women, even in the workplace, who has similar experiences as you, and men too.
Assault,
that's the reason why I'm doing this, to get this out here. Like,
Thank you. Can I shake your hand?
Yes.
You're doing good work.
Okay.
But when you're a man and those things are happening, it's embarrassing because there's still this stigma in America that even though the legislation prevents us from self-defense, that a man should still be willing to be physical to protect himself. I'm more scared of being raped in the ass in prison than I am being touched on the shoulder out here.
Sexual abuse for you, though, started much early.
Yeah.
How old were you the first time you were abused?
I want to say 4. I wanted to play video games, and he said, I'll let you play if you kiss my dick. I think he said like my private parts. And so like I went in the bathroom and like I kissed him on his penis. So like, like I said in the podcast, I thought you kissed dick for video games. He would have me kiss it a couple of times. Like there was definitely like he was enjoying himself. I want to say like there was a certain level of arousal from it.
How old was he?
He's in that 10 to 14 area. I'm 99% sure it was my stepbrother. It happened probably about 3 times before I said something to my mom. And it would just be like when he was there, but my big brother wasn't. So it was one of those things where whatever he was thinking, he understood that there were people around me that wouldn't be okay with that kind of behavior. I think the first time it was an anomaly. The second time it was like, okay. And then the third time I was like, oh, it's something that's going to be normal. Like I'm just going to talk about it. Like it was such a over the top of my head thing at the time. Like I just went home and told my mom. I was like, oh yeah, like such and such had me kiss their private parts so I could play video games. And she's like, what? Like after that, my mother put me in martial arts and she made for damn sure that nobody put hands on me and I started fucking people up who tried me too much. After that, I wasn't allowed to be around some of the individuals that were accused and involved in the situation. Good things happen to good people, bad things happen to good people, good things happen to bad people. Good and bad are our perception of where we stand in the situation. Mm-hmm. So a Nazi thinks he's doing what's best for Germany, but a Jew feels persecuted and murdered. So it's like 2 children, potentially a teenager, were in a situation where things happened that shouldn't have, but did, and it gave me the opportunity to reach out to people in a way that a lot of men can't or won't.
Do you think it tampered with your sexuality?
Definitely. I definitely, I was a super late bloomer when it came to girls, like really, really late.
Okay, so when you say late, how old?
I lost my virginity at 19. So, I mean, I'm maybe not late by that standard. Like, I don't know how many children are fucking in high school, but it felt like all my homeboys were getting some pussy. It felt like all my homeboys were doing it, so you know what I'm saying? There were a lot of
13, 12.
Yeah, like there were a lot of virgin jokes going on in high school, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was definitely, I put it to you like this.
Okay.
My brother's little brother lost his virginity before me, and everybody looked at me like, nigga, you fucking up. And I was like, damn, maybe I am.
Okay. So,
I was very uncomfortable with a lot of the sensations at first. And still am. Like, I definitely have to tell people there's certain areas that can be kissed and stuff that it's like, I'm just not comfortable with that. It makes me feel very, very vulnerable. When I was a kid, sleeping on my stomach with my, my butt up, like I would be scared that somebody would come try and violate me. So like, I was very protective of myself. I was more afraid of the perception that somebody would think I was gay. You know, I had a couple of dreams, like younger, where like I had dreams of kissing men, but in no way, shape, or form do I feel attracted to men.
And do you think that was because of that incident at 4?
I really don't know. You know, like maybe if I had been sexually abused, I would be bisexual or something like that, but I know that I was. My mother had said things that made me uncomfortable with touching women as well.
Like what?
When she started dating her husband, well, because I mean, I was taller than her, right? So like kind of to brag on your parents when you get taller, you just kind of kiss them on top of the head like, what's up, midget? Sorry, small people. When she started dating her now husband, the racist dude, I kissed her on top of the forehead and she said, don't do that. And I was like, what did I do? And she was like, you hug me and kiss me on the head the way Brett does. And at that point, I just stopped hugging girls. So, I mean, at the age that I would have become with physical contact with women, I was so uncomfortable in myself that I really didn't know how to approach women.
Do you trust women?
That's a hard question. Yeah, I trust women more than I trust men. I'm more comfortable with women than I am with men, for sure.
What does it actually mean, I don't trust men?
I don't trust men to be reasonable when they look at me.
What made you decide to trust me doing this?
Well, I think a couple of things. I really liked your body of work on the slut walk. Your body, I don't think I've ever told you this. No. Your body of work was so dope on that bit. I was like, I want to go to the slut walk. For 2 reasons. A, I would just love to be around some women that are that confident about their sexuality. Like, if you're cool with first night, one night stands, you're my type of girl.
I promoting that. Okay.
No, but like, I like, you know, I really, I was attracted to the women who were like, yeah, like, I like fucking. And I'm like, she's going up against the grain as much as I am.
But it was that show?
Yeah. Okay. Well, especially when you caught the fight on there, I was like, oh, this dude, yeah, I'm with it. Like, I'm all for it. This fight is hilarious.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
You're reversing God's love. You're bullshit. There's the fight. Whoa. Back on. Break it up.
Hey. What would you say to parents on protecting their children from sexual predators?
Just don't assume that it can't happen. People can lie and deceive and be the best of friends. When I watched the Michael Jackson documentary, that was never more clear. Most of the parents that were involved in the situation looked at Michael as one of their kids. You know, we saw RKelly on tape. I don't care which little girl wants to go in court and lie about it, but like, fam, RKelly's RKelly. Like, when your parents are watching the video, like, yes, that's my daughter, and you're like, I'm like, come on, dude. I'm not gonna minimize somebody's evil because it makes somebody else comfortable. That's how Hitler got to power. That's how Donald Trump got elected.
I was watching a documentary, and there was a pedophile who said that he was sexually abused as a child, and that most likely abusers abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in that narrative?
No, I don't rock with that at all. I hate that argument because you get to choose whether or not you hurt that person. You know what you're doing. You've been in those shoes. You can feel attracted to that child all you want to. That doesn't mean that you don't have a choice to go and put your hands on them.
Have you ever been attracted to a child?
I'm not attracted to children. I'm not attracted to the mind of a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, she can be the most beautiful 16. She can look like whatever celebrity woman you want to pick. I like them all. Not Precious. Not Monique. I like them all for the most part. But when I talk to a 16-year-old, my first thought is, God damn, you're dumb. Will you please shut the fuck up and listen for a little bit? But it's like, you know, I'm not attracted to children. You know what I'm saying? Like, she could be the most beautiful girl in the world. As soon as I know she's 16, I'll be like, I don't even want to talk to you, bro. There's nothing for us to talk about.
What's your message to your sexual abuser?
I forgive you.
You do?
Yeah, do better. You know, do better. You know, don't do it again. You were a teenager, I was a kid, but go get the tools you need to not put other children at risk of growing up traumatized like that. You can follow me at Shadow Not Shade on Instagram. You can add me on Facebook at Malcom Washington. If you have anything that you want to talk about from
sexual abuse to physical abuse to, you want to hold somebody accountable for any of my mistakes or celebrate any of my goods, like I'm all for it. Like I'm not going to run away from responsibility. So that's where you can find me.
Hi YouTube, it's Marcus Ward. I want to thank you for watching the Marcus Ward Show. Don't forget to subscribe and share.